On May 4th, 2020, there was an historic moment that shouldn't go unnoticed. The Pulitzer Prize winners were announced on May 4th. Now, the Pulitzer Prizes were established by Joseph Pulitzer. In his will, he made provision for the establishment of the Pulitzer Prizes as an incentive for continued journalistic excellence. So like an Oscar or an Emmy, a Pulitzer Prize is a prestigious award, a recognition of excellence. And on May 4th, 2020, the Pulitzer Prize Board awarded a Pulitzer Prize posthumously to Ida B. Wells. So what's interesting about this is that Joseph Pulitzer and Ida B. Wells were essentially contemporaries. Both were born in the 1800s, but they lived very different lives. Joseph Pulitzer was born to a wealthy family in Hungary. Ida B. Wells was born a slave in Mississippi. At 16, Ida B. Wells would become an orphan, losing both parents to yellow fever. At 17, Joseph Pulitzer became an immigrant coming to the United States. Both would go on to become journalists. Joseph Pulitzer would go on to have fame, respect, and recognition. The first Pulitzer Prizes were given in 1917. Ida B. Wells documented lynchings. Often then, the justification for lynching of black men was that black men were raping white women. Ida B. Wells showed this not to be true, that rather lynchings were done as a way to get rid of blacks who were acquiring wealth. For this, she was run out of Memphis, Tennessee, had to carry a gun for protection, and was labeled a slanderous and nasty-minded mulattress. Imagine that. A slanderous and nasty-minded mulattress, more interested in income than outcome. This was in a New York op-ed piece. One would go on to be revered, the other reviled by mainstream American society. However, their life-work trajectories would intersect on May 4th, 2020, when Ida B. Wells would receive a Pulitzer Prize for outstanding, courageous reporting of the horrific and vicious violence against African Americans during the era of lynching. The intersection of their lives and of their life works makes this a historic moment. What makes this moment even sweeter is that much of the recognition which is coming, although late, 89 years after her death, is largely due to the work of another black woman, Nikole Hannah-Jones. Nikole Hannah-Jones is a staff writer for New York Times, also the creator of the 1619 Project, which commemorated the 400 years of slavery in the United States. In 2016, Ms. Nikole Hannah-Jones co-founded the Ida B. Wells Society for Investigative Reporting with the goal of increasing the numbers of investigative reporters of color. Ms. Jones has said of Ida B. Wells, "Can you imagine a woman at that time going into territory where a black man or woman had literally been strung up and lynched and asking questions about why this and what happened? She did this because she understood that the people that committed the murders wrote the reports," end quote. Ms. Nikole Hannah-Jones was also awarded with the 2020 Pulitzer Prize for her lead essay in the 1619 Project. But she too acknowledged attacks for her work. And she says that throughout all the attacks on the 1619 Project, it was black women more so than any other group who had her back. Black women were her vanguard. She says it's our job to pass on our stories, and she dedicated her award to every black girl who feels she has to shrink in life. When asked by her daughter, "Are you famous now?" she told her, "The goal is not to become famous, the goal is to make a difference." It's a historic moment. It's a sweet moment. But the irony cannot be lost on the fact that on February 23rd, 2020, a 25-year-old black jogger was shot and killed by 2 white men, and to date, they have not been arrested. Today, May 6, a video was released showing the shooting. The only difference between then and now, a video. What would Ida say?